Hello and welcome back to Boring Dad Gaming, where today we're going to be playing some more F1 Manager 2022. So, we did quite well in the last race. I think it was a P1, P3 was it for us? Which is, or it might have been P2. I think it was P3. Which obviously very good for us. You know, we're kind of consolidating this third place in the Constructors' Championship. We're going to Hungary in 4 days' time. Quickly remind ourselves what's going on with our car parts. We're putting everything into research at the moment, so we've still got, you know, almost a couple of months left on our underfloor and front and rear wing research. That's fine. We've got a new driver now. We've recruited Sebastian Ocon to be our, or Esteban Ocon to be our car number one driver in place of Danny Ricciardo, who's basically swapped teams and he's now racing for Alpine with Alonso. Bit of money in the bank, but not a huge amount. There's populated facilities. We're not really building anything at the moment. I'd like to save up for the next level design centre, but that's going to be 18 million. So, you know, it's going to be a good few races. I mean, we're getting about 2.5 million per race now because the bonus is paid out to our drivers. So, potentially quite a long time. But let's continue. So the chassis is completed. That's good. Let's have a look at our car setup. Yeah, there you see. So we do want to install that one, Carl. No, that's not right. Chassis number 2 is the one we want. Right. Okay. So we only have one of those currently up. Well, we want to make some more, don't we? Is that chassis? So version 2. Yeah, we want more of those, don't we? I think I might have to do an emergency build for that, because it's not going to happen in time. It's going to cost money again, but we'll get those right now. So let's go back to cars. This chassis. So we want both cars on number 2, like that. Right, let's carry on. Important mail. Looking ahead to Hungary, so we're kind of there already, aren't we? Go do the race prep. And I think we're just going to tick everything because we're doing, apart from the fastest lap, which I can't untick, we do sometimes get that. But in terms of the finished position and the streaks and qualifying positions, we're basically hitting those every time now. So let's go to the race weekend.
The Hungaro-Ring is abuzz with excitement as Formula One returns to Hungary for another round. We first came here in 1986 after construction on this purpose-built motorsport facility was completed. The Hungaro-Ring is one challenging succession of corners and turns. With few straights, it's affectionately known as the go-kart circuit. Drivers will have to find a proper rhythm to make the most of the layout, and for cars, low-speed downforce will be paramount. The season is about halfway through, and it makes me wonder what else is in store for the teams. Well, there's only one way to find out. So, without further ado, let's get started.
Indeed. So we've got some light rain on Friday, so I'm not sure whether that's going to be both practice sessions, one practice session, part of a practice session, we'll find out. But the qualifying and race are going to be in clear weather, so that's good. So we'll switch out Ocon. We're going to put Theo in the car. We're going to go down to car parts. We're going to switch out our sort of racing set for the other set. Still got a little bit to go on that engine. And on the number 1 ERS. Right, number 1 gearbox is done, so let's start on number 2 as our sort of practice set. Let's keep them out there for about 18 laps. Turn the driving stuff down to minimum. Now, Lando's car's a bit different in that he doesn't have a number 1 engine anymore. So we'll switch to the number 2 engine. Still got a bit of wear on that. We don't have any choice but to stick with our current ERS, so that's likely going to have to be replaced at some point. And we'll suffer a grid penalty when we do. Up the number of laps. Down with the driving mode. Okay, so I think we're good to go.
Ready, okay.
So let's send out Theo. There he goes. Send out Norris. And when we come back, we'll find out how we do on this sort of initial practice run.
Give us some feedback on tools and what we can look at.
So 32% on Theo's car, so let's call him in. Take a look at that. Still not quite there on Norris's car. Well, I mean, oversteer's optimal, that's very good. The straights, that's fairly easy to amend. Maybe we'll take it up to the other end. We'll find out which end's better for that. We need to move that back. So we'll probably have to bring the straights in a section. Well, that's moved. Cornering's moved quite a lot, so that's good. Traction's, again, quite easy to move out. That's looking quite good now. Might just move that out slightly more. So bad, 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 moving quite a lot. Good, not too much. Optimal, staying where it is. So I think that's a decent try. See what Norris is doing. 36, I think that's basically the same, wasn't it? Bring him in. So that's great. That's not optimal, but we kind of know which way we've got to move that. So let's just give that a bump. Braking stability, we'll move that as much as we can. Other things will probably affect it. So the straights, let's just move you a lot. The cornering's moved a lot. The traction hasn't though, so let's give that a pretty big move. Can't really move that any further. Hopefully that's enough. But that's worth a try anyway. Cool. So when we come back, we'll see how these guys get on that second run. Okay, I think we're probably getting quite close on car number 1 now. Great. 90%. Well, that's not too bad. Let's call him in. He's already reached his maximum points, development points for this session. So a couple of optimals and a couple of greats. Okay, what can we do about that? Well, we can move that one slightly. Without disrupting too much else. And then if we can move that slightly. Bring that back in. Not too much else has changed. If we just give that a nudge, that looks alright. That might be worth a try. The traction's not that much different, but yeah, actually it isn't. What can we do about that? Probably not a lot, because that will move that way out there. At least there it's moved slightly, but I think that's going to move it back in when I do this, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, well, we can do that. We'll see how that goes. Not in this session, obviously. We'll have to wait till the next one, but I think Norris is probably coming up to his 5 out of 5 now. %. So a bit less, but you know, still pretty good. Let's have a look at his settings when he comes in. 3 optimals. We've got 1 bad, which is letting the side down a bit. It's this traction. Unfortunately, that's quite easy to change. We take that there. These two need to come. We'll leave that one where it is, but these two need to come in a little bit. I can do that. And maybe that, and then move that in like that. So those are kind of where they were. This one's moved a little bit, which is fine because that was great, not optimal. But the optimal ones are where they were. So we'll leave it on that. And we'll leave this session here. When we come back, we'll be heading into P2. Okay. End of P1. And interesting, there's some grid penalties going in there. There was a crash incident while it was fast forward. I don't know if it's related to that, perhaps, or Surely it's too early for them to be ordering new powertrain parts. Anywho, going to move on. There was no rain in that session, so there's presumably going to be a little bit here. We've done the setup, that's fine. So let's just up the lap count a little bit. Turn that down to slow. And we'll head into P2.
Radio check.
Send out Ocon.
Yeah, radio check, all good.
Norris. And when we come back, we'll see how they get done on this new setup. I think both cars are probably getting quite close to 5 out of 5. There's some rain on the track, some light rain, but I've left them out there on their soft tyres. We'll probably put some inters on when they come in.
Do you need any help with the...
89%, so we've actually made car 1 worse, which is interesting.
It's all good. Understood.
Norris is 100%. Wow. Okay, well, let's bring him in. We might just put inters on for just let him stay out and do some track acclimatization. So, optimal, that's fine. But all this stuff we took in the wrong direction, so let's move that way. We need to move that way a little nudge. Move that in slightly. That's moved a teeny bit, but let's hope that's not enough to change the optimal setting. But that other stuff, it might be okay. So let's try inters. We'll just speed things up while we're waiting for Norris to come in. Let's have a look. Not bad. Optimal across the board. I've only seen that once or twice across 3 different saves, so that's pretty cool. But I'm going to put inters on him, and we'll just send him back out to do a run and just build up his track knowledge. When we come back, we'll find out how Ocon gets on his new setup. Yeah, I think Ocon's probably getting close. There he goes, 89%. So, what are we doing wrong here? Well, that's now great. That did change. That's not optimal anymore. What is going on here? I'm not quite sure what's going on with this setup. Because it went that... I'm sure we took it that way last time and it was wrong. We'll try again, I suppose. This one down here, we're not sort of getting to grips with at all. Instead of that, if I move it like this... It's moved too far. It's a bit tricky, this setup. I'm not really getting to grips with it, am I? Give that a go. Next session, obviously. Yeah, so we'll leave that running. Norris is still out. He's about to finish his run. He might not go out in P3. Not sure. I might send him out in a set of hards just so we're not using up 2 sets of softs just sitting in there. But when we come back, we'll be in P3. Okay. 14 out of 15 for Norris. So we'll send him out in a set of hards, I think, just for 1 run in P3.
Here we are, back for another day.
Ocon, I don't know. I'm not getting to grips with his setup at all, so we'll see how it goes. So we'll bump that up. Let's put him on a set of hards as well, just in case. You know, and if he comes in and it's mid-90s, say, we'll just keep the same tyres on him. Norris, you can put hards on. Pump you up a little bit. Right, P3.
I'm ready to check. Yeah, all good. Green light.
Right, so when we come back, we'll find out if we're any closer to the good setup on Ocon. We're starting to get close on Ocon. Another lap or so. Getting towards 100% car parts knowledge, which is good. Oh, someone else has crashed. Ricardo crashed a minute ago. 89%. Oh, what are we doing with this setup? I just can't get it any higher.
So just on the way in, if you give us some feedback on tools and what we can look at.
What am I doing wrong here? So that's gone back to optimal. That's good.
Okay, understood.
Nothing else is any closer to where it was, actually. I mean, is that one literally there? I feel like that's got to come the other way. But then I did this before and it was no better. So I am confused. I mean, usually not too bad at these, but this one is causing me some grief, put it that way. If we were to do that, and then bring this one in slightly. Must be somewhere like that. If it's there, I don't think that's enough. Right, we'll try this. This is my last attempt. I mean, it literally is my last attempt, so we'll do that. Norris coming in. He's up to 75%, so I'm tempted to leave him in now. So yeah, when we come back, this is our last chance at trying to get Ocon above 90%. If not, we'll just revert to that setting. But yeah, we'll see how this goes. Okay, maybe getting slightly close on Ocon again. Fingers crossed we can get him a little bit closer. I'm not too hopeful. I'm just very confused. 90%. Well, we got it back to 90, so...
Yeah, good stuff.
I don't know what was going on with this setup this time. I couldn't pin down those middle 3 bars at all. But I'll let him finish his run, and then when we come back, we'll be heading into qualifying. Okay, so end of practice. Yeah, I mean, a 13 out of 15, fine. It's a shame we couldn't get him any closer, but I don't know. I don't know quite what I was doing wrong there, but never mind. Oh, I'm going to replace the parts with the good parts. That's what I nearly forgot. So I'll put the good engine in. Put in the good ERS. With Ocon, I mean, unless he has an accident like Norris did, then I'm hopeful we might be able to get through the season on his set of parts that he's got there. Shame about Norris. I mean, he's definitely going to have to replace some stuff. Probably one of everything. Well, that's good. Let's go into qualifying. As ever, we're going to manage the session, but let the automatic settings run on the actual laps that we do. Send Ocon out.
Loud and clear.
Yeah, send Norris out. Let's speed things along here. So let's have a quick look at the track record then. Lewis Hamilton, a couple of years ago, 1:16 and 6/10. That's the target. How do we do? That's interesting. Oh, that was our in lap, wasn't it? Of course. Yeah. Okay. In terms of distance to leader, we're not doing too bad. Let's just we'll keep on the same tyres actually. We're in no danger of being knocked out in this qualifying lap. In fact, we could just sit there, couldn't we? At the end, the main thing here is just to not finish below Stroll there, but I don't think we're in any danger of that. And then we'll just let this session run. I mean, you know, egg on my face if it does happen. But I'm pretty sure we're in no danger of the likes of Vettel and stuff overtaking us. Yeah, safe as houses. Okay, so let's go to Q2. All looks good. We'll probably do 2 runs here if it looks like there's a danger of us dropping out the top 10. Hopefully there's not.
Loud and clear.
1:16. Okay, that's actually faster than Hamilton's record time on the lap, so you would hope ballpark that's looking pretty good. Let's just prepare for another run. We'll put another set of tyres on just in case. May not use them. Yeah, I mean these cars would have to make up a second on their second run. I think we'll leave it. I'm gonna let it ride, and it might be a bit of a risk, but I think we're gonna be okay. And then we'll do 2 runs on 2 sets of fresh soft tyres in Q3, and hopefully finish quite well up the grid. I'm not expecting pole or anything like that, but if we could start in 5th or 6th or 4th and 5th, that would be pretty good. I mean, to ballpark this, we're 4th and 7th, I think we ended that, which is absolutely fine. Actually got some grid penalties, so, you know, I'm saying we might not start pole, but actually Norris has a shot at a pole, I think, potentially. Or, you know, certainly front row of the grid. Let's go in, Q3.
Radio check.
Alright, let's see how they get on. So if they can do anything below 1:16, I think that would be amazing. Ooh, that's a bit slow from both of them, isn't it? Oh dear. Yeah, we're going to need to do a second run. So let's put those fresh tyres on. Yeah, you see Leclerc at 1:15. That's kind of what I was hoping would be more like. Right, let's send out now. Come on, guys. We want a nice run here. Timed it quite well. Can they climb up? Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's a bit better. That's a bit better from both. So let's see where we end up. 3rd and 5th currently. I think we could be pretty happy with that. Ocon's dropped down a little bit. Where did Norris finish? 5th. Okay. Not madly happy with that, but these grid penalties should help us. Let's see where we start.
It's race day with the teams and drivers ready and raring to go.
We sure are. So, should be fine, rather. Let's have a look at our race strategy. So I'm thinking the usual mediums into hards until the tyre degradation is worked on in the next update. That seems a pretty good strategy, honestly. Yeah, that's fine. That should all be okay. We'll just top up the fuel a wee bit. Start at max. Norris, I think we'll probably mirror the setup. So let's start on hards and we'll move into mediums. Probably fairly late on. Maybe one more. 42. That looks alright. Yeah, we should be able to finish the race fairly well on those. So strategy D there. Top up the fuel. Set everything to the top. And we're going to start the race.
The drivers have now taken position on the grid, and it's looking like a cloudy day.
Right, let's see where we are. I've literally no idea where we're starting.
The Hungarian Grand Prix.
Where are we? Look like we're 4th, possibly?
And it's lights out, and away we
3rd,
go.
in fact, in Norris. So let's zip into Norris's cockpit. It's an interesting track, this. There's quite a few turns, but also some fairly longish straights. Oh, Ocon's got ahead of Norris there. Norris has dropped a couple of spots. Right, I won't put any team instructions on yet. We'll just see kind of naturally where our two drivers end up. 4th and 5th at the moment, behind... Oh, Hamilton's up there. Leclerc's right at the back of the grid. What happened to him, I wonder? Verstappen's back there as well. Interesting. Did he replace loads of parts or something? And massive grid penalty? I don't know. Okay, so we're kind of settling into sort of 4th and 5th type of position here. I mean, we're pretty competitive against the Mercedes, so I'd be fairly hopeful of us getting ahead of Hamilton at some point. So yeah, I don't want to go too mad on the tyres because we were only just about seeing out the race on those 2 sets. So as we get into this second lap, let's always overtaking though. But I think it's unavoidable.
Slow down now.
Confirm.
It's a good overtake though on Perez.
Just look after this tyre set.
Who has immediately come back on the turn.
Yeah, copy.
Now 3rd again.
Good job.
Oh, so there's been a accident of some kind. Car spun. Who spun?
Someone spun out.
Alonso. Oh, we'll
Let's
have a look
take
at
a
Alonso
closer
spinning.
look. Now watch this. Here's Alonso's car. They lose it there. That's the spin.
Lucky it didn't cause an accident. Oh, are we trying to get Hamilton here? I'm going to have to turn down the fuel mode. Oh, we got ahead of Hamilton though. That was pretty cool.
Sounds like a spin.
Latifi spun. I'm not going to bother watching Latifi spin. I think that if we stopped every time Latifi spun, we'd never finish the race.
You're doing a very good job.
Thank you.
Update on liftoff. We do require fuel liftoff.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we're right up on Sainz now, who's currently leading, making up a bit of ground on Hamilton. Perez actually has the fastest lap so far, interestingly, despite dropping down a few positions. Ocon still holding in 5th, hasn't really made up much ground on the leaders. But here we go. Is DRS going to come on it? It
DRS
is.
enable. DRS enable.
Not turned on just yet, but we look like we're going to try and take Sainz on this corner.
Copy.
Got the inside. We look like we were around him. That was a pretty nice move. Norris has now got the fastest lap. Perhaps unsurprisingly. A little bit of distance to Sainz. Oh, Ocon spun.
And
Oh my
McLaren
God.
with a great overtake.
And he's got some sort of time penalty as well. Right. Sure, it's not a safe. It's virtual
Clear
safety
for
car.
safety
Oh
car.
my God! What
Clear
did you
for
do?
safety car.
What did you do, Esteban? I mean, we'll ignore it. It's too early in the race to think about pitting. I want to see what happened to him though.
No DRS. No DRS for him.
5-second penalty. I think that will
We've just had a
apply
spin. Let's have a look.
when he
Now
pits.
have a watch of this. Looks like Ocon. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. The car's just gone.
What was he trying to be too aggressive? They're overtaking, maybe? Not sure. Anywho, we might as well turn things down a little bit while the virtual safety car's on.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Speed up time a little bit. Probably won't be on too long. Perez got the same penalty. That they were probably just being too aggressive with each other. But Perez, interestingly, went way down the race, whereas Ocon actually gained a place. So maybe it was a successful move. It's going to be ending soon, so I guess we'll just go back to our usual settings.
Head down.
I'm happy.
Here's the safety car ending.
There we go.
You've got the margin to push.
Copy.
Sainz is right there again, and Hamilton right behind him. Just want to get to the end of this lap, and then maybe I'll speed things up for a little while. But yeah, it's going quite well so far. Ocon's going to drop down probably to about 7th when he pits, though, on sort of current standings. But he's not going to do that for a little while. I think it's lap 30, isn't it? Maybe 32, something like that. I can't quite remember.
And
23
DRS
laps.
is disabled. DRS disabled.
Confirm.
Okay, so we're building up a little bit of a cushion now
Copy.
to us and Sainz, so that's pretty good. Let's just speed things up for a little while. So yeah, it's going pretty well.
And you can use the RS.
Oh wow, we need to turn Ocon's, well, both of their fuel
Should I
modes
think about the
down.
lift off?
Yeah.
Hopefully that will settle down again. Otherwise we aren't finishing this race, but I'm sure we will.
I
Oh yeah.
think there's been a lock-up.
Hamilton's overtaken Sainz there, and we're sort of a second ahead of him. A second and a half. I mean, this is pretty good. Interesting that Ocon in the same car isn't doing quite as well. Right, yeah, the fuel's looking okay again. We'll leave it there for now.
Seems to have been a lock-up.
Yeah, if anything, Ocon's losing ground, and Bottas 7. What's happened here that we've got Ocon and then the rest? Oh, what happened with Sainz? It was a pit stop. He's pitted already. Wow. Okay. Well, I guess I guess Hamilton and Sainz were on soft tyres then. And they're not, I mean, no matter what tyres they put on, they're not getting to the end of the race on those. What did they put on? Hards. They won't make 50 laps on hards. And Norris is on hards, and he's pitting around lap 40? 42? Something like that. Oh, it's interesting, these gaps here. I mean, Norris is just... I mean, it looks like there's a car behind him, but that's actually Latifi that he's already lapped. Or about to lap. No, he has lapped him. And then there's a huge gap to Ocon, who's currently second and losing ground on Norris. Okay, so we're in the pit window now for Ocon, but I don't really see any reason to bring him in yet because he's still got loads of room on his tyres. Yeah, I mean he could probably get another 5 laps or so here, so we'll wait a little bit longer and then we'll bring him in.
Good
Ooh,
lap.
Norris has got the fastest lap, very nice. 120. So what was Hamilton's fastest lap? It was 116, wasn't it, on this course, this track? Which looks very fast now in a sort of race setting. But yeah, let's speed this up a little bit while we wait for a better opportunity to pit Ocon. Just leave him on those mediums as long as possible. Yeah, we don't need to come in for a while yet. And this is where having a driver who's got a good smoothness rating is helpful, because they'll just make these tyres last forever.
Sounds like we've had a spin.
Okay, 39. Let's keep an eye on when his pit windows come. We'll let him do this lap. And we'll bring him in. Put him on hards, but we'll also say you can absolutely thrash these tyres. Right, he's in the pits. Probably going to apply that 5-second penalty. Maybe.
Looks like there's been a lock-up.
Was a strong lap. Well done.
It might already have applied, or it might apply at the very end of the race. I'm not sure. Oh, another fastest lap from Norris. He's doing well today. He's got... I mean, I know that Hamilton has already pitted, but we've got like a 30-second gap to him. I mean, that's mad. How is he doing so well? Oh god, I don't want to jinx anything though, but he is having the race of his life out there. Oh, we should turn Ocon's tyres back down.
Back it out, back it out.
So Ocon's down in 6th now. It looks unlikely that he'll be caught by Russell, but also fairly unlikely that he'll catch the Ferraris. So probably looking like that's where he's going to finish. Or the only thing that might change is that is the tyre wear on Sainz and Hamilton, which won't. They must have a 2-pit strategy because there's no way those tyres are getting to the end of the race. Or if they try for it, I mean they'll be running on rims by the end. All right, so how long till Norris is due to pit in a lap? We've got loads more wear on these tyres still, so we'll just keep that going as long as we can. It's probably going to be another few laps. Okay. Yeah, Ocon did make quite good progress there on Sainz. I don't know if Sainz locked up or span or something. He might tell us in a minute.
Oh, we've had a spin.
Russell span.
We
Oh,
can
I'll look
take
at
a
Russell
look
spinning.
now. Now let's look at this. Here's George Russell. Look at that. They've spun their...
He must be well down now, he is. Okay, so 40% on the tyres. This is our optimal stop. I think we can go a couple more laps. And then we'll just have, that much more left on our mediums by the end. Have a look at his pit window. We'll let this one go and then we'll pit. Alright, let's do it. We'll go on to mediums. Alright, Norris is out. Still got a 4-second gap to Verstappen, which is cool. Yeah, see, they had to pit again, so Ocon's gained a couple of places now as a result of that. I don't think Leclerc and Verstappen will pit. I think they'll just see it out now. But he might be cutting it a bit fine. So potential chance for he's got 10 seconds to make up on Leclerc, so it's unlikely to happen, but he could get the podium potentially. And look at Norris. Fuel's looking all right. I mean, we could help Ocon a little bit by making him push a little bit more.
Did somebody spin out there?
Of course, Joe's
Here's
been a
the
lot of spinning
replay.
in this race. Hasn't
Now
really
let's
been
watch
a
this.
crash
The
incident
Alfa
as such
Romeo
yet.
involved in this one.
Whoop.
That looked like a very nasty spin.
Alright, we don't want them to run out of petrol by the end. Lap 58. Oh, Norris is doing so well. I mean, Verstappen has gained a second on him, it must be said. But he's doing very well. And yeah, Leclerc and Verstappen are just, racing away from Ocon, who for whatever reason just isn't doing as well this race. It's not only that penalty. I mean, he's losing ground on those cars while Norris is gaining
Was
on
that a
them.
lock-up on the track?
Oh, look at Verstappen.
Let's take a
locking
look
up.
at the replay. We're just watching the Red Bull. Well, they've locked up.
Oh,
They
almost
won't
went
have
into the
been
side,
happy
but I
about
think
that.
he's going to be okay. Lost a bit of time, maybe.
And the team had such high hopes today.
Poor Christian Horner. Yeah, so Leclerc overtook him. Ocon gained a few seconds.
Is that a lock-up?
Right, let's jump into Norris's cockpit now. We've got 6 laps to go. 5 laps to go now. We've got the tyre wear. So, yeah, they're around 50%, so they'll be fine. They're on hards. So pretty much that's it. Who pitted twice out of interest?
laps.
Hamilton and Sainz, Perez and Latifi were the only ones who pit more than once. And unsurprisingly, they're not doing very well. Interesting strategy. Yeah, it looks like Ocon's got a fairly nice cushion. They're in 4th. Doesn't look likely that he'll get on the podium, but if we win another race, be very happy with that. 4th is respectable. I think in terms of our car quality, we're third on the grid, aren't we? So sort of 5th and 6th. So he's out overperforming, you could say, on that front. I would like Norris to get a fastest lap. So I think for the last 2 laps, if we're still doing okay on tyre wear, I'll bump that up to attack. Hopefully get a fastest lap time. 4 laps. We can't even see the Ferrari in our rear view. Not much point switching to Ocon because I mean he can't see the car in front or the car behind, can he? That's not where he is at the moment. So he's just coming onto the straight now. Nothing in front, nothing behind. That's funny. Who are we lapping now? This looks like could be Stroll, potentially, just ahead of us, is it? Can't see from here. It looks like a blue car though. Maybe it's Albon. So yeah, well, yeah, Stroll and Latifi are already a couple of laps behind us. So that probably is Albon.
Yep, confirm.
3 laps. How are we doing? Not bad. Not bad at the moment. I don't know what happened to Latifi, but he's almost a minute behind Stroll. I know he span out at one point. I think he's may have pitted twice, so that's probably it. Here we go. What is that? That's an Alpine. That must be Alonso. It would be embarrassing if it was Ricciardo, but I don't think it is. I'm sure that must be Alonso. Right, we're going to go attack now. We're going to try and get their fastest lap time, I think.
Push.
Confirm.
And 2 more laps.
So if that was Alonso, who's this? Doesn't look like Magnussen, looks like a blue car. That looks like a Williams. So if that's Latifi, I hope he doesn't run us off the road. I think we may have lapped him 3 times now.
Oh, there's a spin!
Well, Hamilton spun. Oh, let's
Let's
look at a
see
Hamilton
what
spin.
happened there. Now watch this. Lewis Hamilton involved in this one. What a spin!
Yeah, well, it was a spin. I don't know if it was as dramatic as you make it sound. I'm not going to put Ocon up to attack mode. It doesn't seem much point. I don't know where he is at the moment. Right, he's ahead of us now. Looks like it could be Aston Martin, maybe? If we just overtook Latifi again, I would expect that to be Stroll. But I don't know. Last lap. Oh, we got the fastest. Nice.
Was a very good lap. Well done.
Still didn't break Hamilton's record.
Confirm.
I did read that right, didn't I? 1:16, yeah. Huh. Very quick. Oh, this has just been a brilliant race by Norris so far. I mean, he is well ahead of Ocon, who isn't having a bad race himself by any means, apart from the one spin he had early on that sort of docked him 5 seconds. But I mean, he's 10 seconds behind Verstappen, so you know, I don't think it's had a huge impact. But if it's applied at the end, he is going to drop down. No, he won't actually, because he's 10 seconds ahead of Hamilton. So that'll be fine. Right, anyway, we're coming to the final couple of turns here. Getting ready to cross the finish line in first place. There we go, another win for Norris. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Lando Norris wins it. He's first over the line.
And that's really down to his skill, isn't it? And you know, having a quite competitive car. Our car is still slower than the Red Bulls and the Ferraris. But Norris won that by a long way. So let's
Okay, that's the checkered flag.
Good job.
let's just speed things up until everyone's over the finish line. Might be a while for Latifi. There we go. Another win for Norris.
Lando Norris can be proud. What a fantastic performance from him. Imagine how chuffed they must be. A podium is a real feat, and it's been accomplished in style.
I don't know if that's supposed to be us. I hope not. Nondescript NPC over there.
And after
Good win.
such a fabulous drive here today, it's no surprise to see this man land on the podium.
I wonder if Max knows there's no champagne coming out of his bottle.
You've got to say it was a solid drive from all three of them up there. A fantastic showcase for Formula One.
Nice one, Lando. I don't know what happened to Leclerc in qualifying, but he climbed 17 places to finish second. I mean, you've got to admire that, really. Our drivers climbed as well. Got the fastest time there, we see. Excellent. In terms of the driver standings, Norris is still as you were, really, but he's catching up to Perez quite quickly now. So if you were to repeat that in the next race, he'd actually overtake him. Ocon's climbed up. He's actually overtaken Ricciardo, which might sting a little bit for Danny. But yeah, looking good. If we go to the constructors, we're still sort of consolidating this third place. I mean, we are gaining on Red Bull, but I have a feeling we're going to run out of track, really. 5 wins, 11 podiums, 3 wins, 6 podiums. Yeah, so we've got, what, 9 races left? We're 160 points behind. You know what? If we could win every race from now to the end of the season, there's a chance. So you're telling me there's a chance. Good Norris. Nothing for Theo. All our money is draining away into the driver's pockets. That's fine. Oh, we've got our board review. Let's have a look. Target position, 5th. Current position, 3rd. Long-term target, win the Constructors' Championship. We're currently 3rd. We've got another 3 seasons after this to try and do that, which I think is going to be okay. It says 5, but that includes the current season. Next. They've given us an extra $1.5 million because they've got high confidence in us, which is rather nice. So we're on 12 mil now, so we're getting closer to being able to start work on the development centre. Ocon does actually have a development point, so let's develop our drivers. Ocon, what do we want to do with you? You're pretty good at everything. Maybe the braking means we could be slightly more aggressive on the corners. That might be good. Norris, I think we're going to still pump points into defend for you. Although, to be honest, you're doing really well, Norris. No notes. Theo's got a point as well. His overtaking is looking a bit low, isn't it? So let's put a bit into overtake as well. Let's look at our staff and see if anyone's got any points to spend. They don't. Quick look at the pit crew. Doing well on the tyres. Let's check our inbox. Engine company of car 1 could be better. Okay. Esteban Ocon could be more adaptable. I mean, he could, but I don't rate that particularly highly as a stat to pump up. Well, confidence. They're very, very confident in us. Congratulations. Could not be happier that we won. Confidence has increased immensely. Financial report. Okay, so what do they give us per month? Oh, they gave us 4 million. Very nice. Lando Norris claimed the checkered flag in Hungary. Everyone's talking about McLaren, exceeding expectations. Very good. But if you look at our car, you know, it's competitive, I'd say. Competitive. It's a decent all-rounder now. But not the best at anything. So, you know, we're definitely overperforming. And we've got Spa coming up in Belgium in, nearly a month. So we've got a little bit of a break now, so we might get some more development points coming in for the drivers, potentially. There's not a lot more to work on, really, because we've got these long-term research projects going on. They're going to take longer than the time to the next race. Yeah, it's race 14 of 22, so we've got nine races left. So, yeah, the season's shaping up pretty nicely. We're probably doing better than I expected us to, actually. You know, if we're winning races and stuff, I mean, that's awesome. Look at all these delighteds on this race feedback. Let's actually look at how well has Norris done. So we go to drivers, go to career. So this season, he's had 2 wins, 4 podiums. That's pretty nice. And if we look at Ocon, obviously he's only just joined us, but just generally this season he's had 1 win, 1 podium, and those were both with us in the race previous to this one. So that's pretty good. Very nice. Well, I'm happy. I'm happy with that win. It was just very good driving by Norris in a decent car. So, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, then please do hit the like button on the video and subscribe to the channel as well. That'd be amazing. And in the meantime, I'll see you again for more F1 Manager 2022 when we head to Belgium. Bye for now.